Hola, hola. Hello, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you for inviting us today to present a little bit about the work that we're doing with the L2Ork Tweeter Hackathon and the second iteration of this event. So we are doing one during the semester on March 22 and 23, and this is the second time that we're doing it. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about this event, why are we doing it, what is it for, and how we do it. So L2Ork, and this is L2Ork, and the Tweeter is a platform for creating collaborative music. It can be used telematically, is an open source platform developed with pure data that allows people to connect automatically and solves the problem of latency and share. So it's good for, you know, playing in distance. So it's very much aimed for live music. And this was developed by Dr. Bookbik. So I'm sorry if I'm not describing it as tight as I could. But it's a really great platform because it also allows you to understand a little bit more about sound synthesis. So this is a platform that has like 12 channels. Each channel is an FM synthesizer. So you as a performer connect to one of them, and there's people that is also connected to the other channels, so you can synchronize them all together and start playing / creating parts and instruments to create pieces together. So, a little bit about our community. I think that this is like a basic approach to what we're doing and why this hackathon was a good idea for us and how it's working now. So our community was started during the pandemic. I am from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I was still back home when we started working with ITSO. So what we did is he had a class here at VT of undergrad students that started using the platform, and I assembled a group of students back home in my alma mater university, which is UNTREF. And so we started creating our first piece together that was transcontinental grapevines. And that was the first piece that we performed. Now we have 3 pieces. Actually, yeah, 3 or 4? No, 3. No, 4, because we recently created one for the Alexandria Council for a specific installation, and that was something beautiful because we started during the pandemic, but now we were commissioned for the first time with a piece. So both communities, the community from Virginia Tech and the community from Argentina, we all together assembled a piece and went to perform it to Alexandria. So far, we've been working several years now, and the community from Buenos Aires is still connected, but we're also expanding the community. So through the hackathon, we were able to start collaborating with Hampton University. We are now collaborating with Maryland University, and we're also adding San Antonio, Texas University. Yeah, sorry. Those are hard names to learn. Okay, so I'm going to pass it to Justin.
Definitely. So this is all really through, of course, ICAT and ICTAS funding. It's really a 2-step process. The first process, of course, was the first hackathon and kind of trying to launch things from a more diverse sense, really trying to leverage our partners and really make that first connection. What we really plan for this second hackathon is something that's more grounded, more rooted in, of course, L2Ork, more rooted in just the community aspect. And of course, with that funding, we're trying to, of course, engage underrepresented institutions. We have, of course, are using HBCUs, which are historically Black colleges and universities, and minority-serving institutions. Virginia Tech is an MSI, Hampton is an HBCU, and I believe University of Texas, San Antonio is a MSI. And so really, we have a couple of goals. We're just encouraging diversity in STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math at Virginia Tech, and we're encouraging the youth to creatively engage with the arts and technology. Another thing I would say is that it's not done yet. We've reached out to other HBCUs and MSIs, and we're still hoping for engagement from other universities like Wayne State University in Detroit and University of Maryland, College Park.
Alrighty, so we have a video, a small, short video of the first hackathon. So each hackathon lasts 2 days. It's a full hands-on event. So it's a hybrid. It has a hybrid modality, so people can participate from afar or telematically, and some students come to campus. We use the funding that we got through ICTAS and ICAT to fund their trip and lodging. So what they do is to work on teams during those 2 days, composing a piece, and for the contest, each team presents their piece live. And then we have, of course, a jury, and we're going to discuss a little bit more now about our sponsors, but we wanted to show you this video. Why does PowerPoint always betrays you when you have to play a video? Does anyone know? Wait, I can do this. Yes. So each one of the groups that participates on the hackathon has a mix of students from Virginia Tech, students from our partner universities, and students from Argentina. So they have like a very good mix. Also, it's a good mix because the students from Argentina and Virginia Tech are already familiarized with the program that we use, so they facilitate the learning curve for the hackathon, that it's really short to create a piece for people that it's not that familiarized with the program. This was super fun. We have a lot of music to share with you if you wanted. Okay, so moving forward. Wait, do you have to? There we go. Alrighty.
So for sponsors, we have a lot of the same sponsors as last year. Gratefully, we had Max and Rainbow licenses. We had 5 of those. We had Ableton Live and a couple of packs, 5 of those. We have Delta Sound Labs, and we had the Fold plugin, which we were grateful to have a lot of those. And we had the Renoise DAW, which is a digital audio workstation. If you want to talk a little bit about D4, no more. Do you want to say it's a like binaural? Just a Max library, okay. It's still a very important sponsor, and we're grateful to have it. And who knows, we might have some more soon.
All right. So as we discussed before, the first hackathon, we only collaborated with one university. So getting ready for this new one, we are managing to collaborate with some more. So we are working now with the University of San Antonio, Texas, to see if they actually can bring some students to our campus, and working now with Maryland University. And this means a lot of things, not only just to discuss participation of the hackathon, but also giving lectures on their universities about L2Ork and what we do and the community that we have, and engaging with their students and faculty members. I'm going to move forward to the call to action. So if you think you have students or peers or colleagues that want to participate from our hackathon, this is the registration form. You can scan it and share it, or register and come and take the opportunity to meet some really cool people doing live music with a very special software. And also, of course, share it with students. As we do try to engage our own students with the students of other universities so that they can see the, life in campus, etc. And if you want to know more about the hackathon that it's upcoming, some more details about the schedule of the hackathon, the awards of the great sponsors we just showed you, or who's going to be the jury, or how this L2Ork works, etc. You can scan this and check more information. And I think that's it. Yes, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. What questions do we have?
Hi, thank you. That was super interesting. When the video cut to show all the students that were sitting at those different stations, were they all working on instance versions of the same interface, or were they all working on their own independent components to that composition?
Yes, that's a great question. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put this picture so that we can see. So we see here, well, this is not a great way of showing it, but let's go back to the video maybe. So what you can see here, for example, in the screen is the platform. Oh, I can't control the sound. Wait, I'm going to stop it. No, no le gustó. I can't. Okay, there we go. So I think you can see it now. So you see that there are like rectangles, and each rectangle is like the one that it's underneath that. So basically each rectangle is an FM synthesizer, and underneath the synthesizer you have a line where you can type notes using your keyboard as a MIDI interface for it. So what they do is they create an instrument using the synthesizer, a notation of what they're playing with that synthesizer there. You can record each one of your creations, aligning instrument plus notation, and so you get this small parts that then you can use, right, for performing throughout the entire song. So they agreed upon a series of combinations of all those synthesizers, and they're performing live, right, this idea, this piece that they created. Does that answer your question? Yes.
Question coming in online. Couple. First, this is from Ed. Constantly been impressed by all the L2Ork work. It's super cool. Is there a repository of the music created so far so that we can listen?
Yes. Thank you so much for your question. We do currently have a YouTube that has like most of our pieces on there. But if you download L2Ork, we have all these compositions, I believe, that are loadable. So if you load L2Ork Tweeter, you can hit load and load in any composition and hear all the parts and pieces of it. I believe so. It is uploaded. Okay. Thank you.
The next one. Oh, yeah, what is the YouTube channel called?
I believe it is VT Dices. Yeah.
VT Dices, so that's DISIS.
Yes.
Okay, how does the synchronization across the universities work? And there were phones on the PC. What are they for?
So thank you so much for the question. The synchronicity across universities really works through the platform, and then we use something like Zoom in order to communicate up front. There is a chat in L2Ork Tweeter as well, but that's not really used as much. So not everyone is in complete sync in terms of each other, but locally on their own systems, they're in sync. So essentially, even though they're talking, on phone, on Zoom, they can synchronize their actions, their moves, and connections just by using the software. So
if there is I'm just going to see if I can understand. If there's a lag, I don't hear it. The computer takes care of the lag and makes everything that I'm doing match up with what they're doing. Okay.
exactly. So even though we're not all in sync with each other, locally, everyone is in sync with each other. So locally, you hear everything as in sync.
Awesome. I tried last night in a Zoom meeting with a group of scouts to have everybody just say the scout oath and law together. That does not work on Zoom, just so you know. Everybody's got to mute, one person does it. But so that's great. I love that you all figured that out.
Definitely.
Other questions?
Thanks for your presentation. Are you incorporating artificial intelligence tools into your creative process yet? And I'm curious if you've been able to do anything like that, and which artificial intelligence tools you might find useful, and what works, what hasn't worked, any experience like that?
Thank you so much for your question. As artificial intelligence is a hype right now, of course we are, exploring. But Justin and I, we are both students of the interdisciplinary PhD in human-centered design. And we actually both work with artificial intelligence, somehow interconnected with L2Ork. I believe at some point we will be here presenting those projects. But for now, I would say that I work with human voices and people that usually undergoes radical transformation of their voices, like laryngectomies, etc. So I work with computer vision, trying to understand vowels, etc., and just mainly asking questions around identity and identity restitution after a big transformation of the voice. And so I use AI to understand this very subtle relationship between organic voices, synthetic voices, and what happens when we lose our voice and how much we take it for granted, but then it's like 90% of our identity. And I'm just exaggerating with that number, of course. And Justin here, he also works with AI and L2Ork around the idea of biofeedback connected to the platform that we use to understand if what it's happening in the body of the performers could at some point become an input of orchestral direction of how to continue performing. So it will be like somehow a feedback loop of information between the platform and the performers. Is that fair? Yes? Okay. All right, so yeah, but this is new, and we're doing all this, of course, with the help of ITSO, that is guiding us through this very weird technical path, but also nice conceptual path, yeah.
You alluded to it with your last last bit there, but can you talk about your disciplines? And you're in an IPhD, which means you're already kind of blowing up disciplines, which is great. But can you talk about the disciplines that are both your disciplines and then the people who are coming to the hackathon? What are they bringing to the table disciplinarily?
Do you want to answer that?
I would say, at least for, do you mean the disciplines that I'm incorporating in my PhD?
That too, but also how it works with L2Ork.
Oh, so sorry. For the disciplines we're looking for bringing people to the hackathon, really any discipline is encouraged to come. Generally, it could be computer science, it could be music students, it could be architecture. Again, we're generally pretty open as long as you're willing to engage with the technology and learn something new within a couple of days. I'll guarantee you that no one that's in the ensemble is an expert computing musician, but we're all working to be better in terms of L2Ork and L2Ork Tweeter. So.
Great. What disciplines did you all do masters in something else in a discipline?
Yes, I have a background in electronic arts and art/music therapy and transdisciplinary neurorehabilitation. So it's like a full thing. And you have a master's in music composition and theory.
Great.
Yep. And about the disciplines that we're looking for the hackathon, or not that we're looking for, but what's like an ideal setting. There isn't really an ideal setting because this type of platforms are conceived in such a transdisciplinary perspective that it really allows you to explore and play and learn something about multiple disciplines in one experience. So it's not really created to people that, fits an idea of a discipline. It's created for people to engage with music and computer composition, but beyond the idea of disciplines. And that's also something that happens to us. We don't think that much about, what's our strict disciplinary background. We're very in love with the problems that we're looking for and working with. So yeah, we are, I won't say we are beyond, but we try to, at least.
Post-disciplinary, I love it. I also enjoy, I know that ICTAS, you've been working with PD L2Ork for a very long time, and I haven't seen the interface in a while, and this looks fun. I want to play again, so it's good. Yeah.
You hold it. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. It was very interesting. I'm curious about the sponsors and how you recruit them, and if they are providing equipment or money or systems, or how you interact with them. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, yeah. So these are largely sponsors who have provided software licenses because we're working in a hybrid format. We're looking for ways how we can disseminate this efficiently. So essentially last year we've had a little bit in excess of $5,000 in software licenses provided by the industry sponsors, which we just reached out to. Some of these are prior contacts, some of there are cold calls, and so this year, we're estimating a little bit in excess of $8,000 of prizes. So if you're a student, or heck, you don't even have to be a student. If you're just interested in participating this and you want to get your hands on some free, awesome software in the audio domain, this is a great opportunity to do that. Hopefully that answers your question.
Can you talk about the jury? I heard there's prizes. How do people choose? Who chooses who gets the prizes? How does that work?
We have a jury of faculty members from our university, from Virginia Tech, and from the collaborator institutions. So we had faculty from Hampton University too. And to be honest, we are very generous. I listened to the distribution of awards because everyone got a piece of software, let's say. So the first team that has the first award gets more licenses, but everyone gets some licenses. So it's still like kind of very like you can still take a souvenir.
Just to add to that, because our first hackathon was so small, we only had 2 teams. We were scrambling, we got a grant and we had to, in 3 months, get everything together. Yes, eventually everybody did get some kind of even consolation prize. This time we're anticipating a larger turnout, so we're not promising that everybody will get a prize. Rather, there will be prizes for probably first and second place teams. So
I'm gonna try to make it much more further than that, but it's fine. Yeah.
I love it. Well, we are at time. Oh, wait, you have, we can do one more. I'll be there. We're almost at time.
Well, thank you for letting me come right in at the end. One thing I enjoy Touch Designer and visualizing audio, and I think it's really fun. And when you were talking about all these different, you said there were 16 different channels, if I remember correctly. That to me just sounds like a playground of visual input. I'm wondering if you've ever taken either the compositions as they happen live or after the fact and then visualize them through something like Touch Designer.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about the collaboration with Thomas?
Thank you for the question. Since we're dealing just with control data, we can do whatever we want to with that. So in the most recent iterations of our work, we've been collaborating with faculty here in SOVA, Thomas Tucker, who is specializing in projection mapping. So the commission that we've done for Alexandria and some other performances we've done around the world, we actually had a projection mapping element which was either on-site or actually off-site. And so, yes, we're definitely looking at the visual aspect of this. Some performances actually took place right here in CID. And so there were some projection mapping elements as well there. But yeah, we've been talking about, XR implementation of the same and all kinds of other opportunities that can be brought.